Okay, so now we're going to do a blowout with the red, yellow, red, yellow, and blue. Remember, this turns an ugly, well, it doesn't turn ugly. It turns brown. For example, this is a homemade brown. But in this, I added more red than blue. So it's got a red tone to it. If I wanted it to be lighter, I could add more yellow, or you can add white. Yellow will change the tone of it. White will change the hue, how dark it is, okay? I believe that's the correct word. So anyway, we're going to try first of all. Okay, I'm going to start with that. Add some yellow. Try not to let the yellow touch the blue. Well, good luck with that now. Hang on, let me just lighten it up. Oh, I kind of like that. Yeah, I love that color. So anyway, back to what we were doing. Ooh, squirrel! Okay, here we're going to do two lessons in one. We're going to blow these out so that they do not change color, because there's going to be white between them. However, we're going to make the white thick this time. Next time we're going to make it thin so you can see how thin white affects everything. Okay. Try not to let the colors touch. Don't let the blue touch the red. And this is what they're doing when they're layering colors in a cup. They're just trying to determine what colors are going to touch each other, because they know how those colors are going to be affected by the rest of the colors. So we did red. Uh-oh, they got some blue in the red. Okay. Remember, this is the thick white that we're doing right now. Now my blue is pretty thin, so the blue might mix in with the other colors a little bit, but it's because it's thinner. Thinner paint moves a lot easier and it blends a lot easier. Let's see what we got here. Well, that's not so good. I blew too hard again. By the way, this is what happens when you're doing a blowout and you blow too hard. Okay, you see how you can see the blue and the white and the yellow and the red? It's because you had white in between. If you don't have white in between, this is what happens. Again, I blew too hard, but you see where the blue is right there? There was plenty of white, so it kept it from changing colors. This one I have the feeling is going to change a lot because the blue is so thick, or thin, but let's see what happens. There's no purple, there's no orange, and there's no green. It is all the colors as I place them. That is what thick white will do between your layers of paint. I'm going to show you what's going to happen with thin white. This does not just work for, whoops, forget I just did that. Oh, hey, it's still almost red. Did I mention the concussion? This works for blowouts, spins, straight pours, flip cups, swipes. Okay. Let me put some white on there before I forget what I was doing. Okay, remember this is a lighter white. You see a lot of white in here, right? Not lighter, thinner. This is a thinner white. So you're going to get a completely different result. Starting to thicken up. It's kind of warm in here, so my paint thickens. That's the other thing. If it is too hot where you are, get a cool mist humidifier and keep the temperature down as much as possible. I put my temperature between 73 and 75 degrees. And I turn the humidifier on about an hour or two, depending on the size of the room and the heat, depending on, yeah, about an hour or two before I want to paint. Make sure that there's plenty of moisture in the air. Whoop, forgot the white. Now imagine that you were putting black in between these, or gray in between these. It doesn't necessarily darken your color, it makes it richer. Now this time, I'm going to put a little bit of white over the top as well. I put yellow in that, right? Okay, all right, well, I'm thinking I did. You see how much thinner this is than the other white? It's going to move a lot easier, and it's going to blend. It won't have the sharp lines. You see how we've got sharp lines here? It's going to be more of a blending. Remember I said you cannot mix red and blue and yellow because it turns brown? As long as there is white in between those, you can. My white was a lot thicker, and it was on the bottom. That's why I got so much yellow. Did I say white? Yellow. My yellow was a lot thicker, and it was on the bottom. So it's going to do the same thing as over here. Okay. Here, red was on the bottom, and here, blue was on the bottom. So you see what happens. Now we're going to blow these together, and we are not going to use any white at all. I'm going to use a thinner yellow. Even though it's still beautiful, it's starting to turn like to mud. This is what happens when you use thicker paint. It holds its lines better. Let's try some thinner paint. We're going to add just a little bit of water to this. Always use distilled water when mixing your paints. Has to do with the chemicals in it and the minerals and stuff that it leaves behind. I hope you can see this okay. Oh no, you probably didn't even see that video, did you? I'm trying to conserve on paint. You notice that the name of my Facebook page is, not Facebook, my YouTube channel is Pour Living. It's because I have learned how to pour on a budget. This is the same combination as that. Okay? There's no white in between, but the paints are thinner. Okay, this is what we call mud. Red, yellow, and blue, when combined, turn into this. Just like any color that has red, if you mix two colors that have a combination of red, yellow, and blue, you're going to get brown of some form. Unless, I'm going to do one more, I'm going to show you one more thing. A little bit of water. I'm going to put some white between the red and yellow, but not between the red and blue. Remember, red takes over, so I'm not going to use a whole bunch of it. Add some water to this. Okay, here goes nothing. We got a beautiful purple in there because there was no white between the red and the blue. We got yellow. There's a little tiny bit of orange where I guess the red or the white didn't move as much. And the last thing I want to tell you, white and black will always create cells. If you don't want them to, I'm going to recommend, this is what I've done, and I might have a video out there. Okay, it's probably upside down. This is the house paint base from Walmart. It is the ColorPlace, and it's what you add the color to so that you can paint your house. You know, paint whatever. It looks white, but it dries semi-clear. Which reminds me, your colors will always dry darker than they are right here, and it has to do with how water distributes color. When it's dry, there's no water in it, so it cannot refract any of the colors. So anyway, I hope this helps you. Please show me whatever you do. I would love to see your work. And if you have any videos that you would like to see done, please let me know. I will be creating a video tomorrow that where I actually use colors from a beautiful picture, and it's going to be all of these colors mixed, and I will show you how you can actually do it without stressing about your colors mixing and turning ugly. Okay? Hey, enjoy the journey. Bye.